Hi, today I'm making chuck roast and these are my ingredients. It's gonna be good. It's an amazing dinner. If you want to invite friends, you can have some and they will love you for cooking this stuff. So here's my ingredients. That is 1/2 tablespoon of cumin, 1 tablespoon of mustard seed powder, 1 tablespoon of coriander powder, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, 1/2 tablespoon of cayenne pepper, that's optional, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, coarse ground pepper, freshly ground, salt, and this is your liquid smoke, 1 tablespoon and 2 tablespoons of water. And here is your 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. First thing you do is actually you have to mix all your dry ingredients together. So here's the 2 pounds of chuck roast. I didn't find any brisket, but this is exactly the same recipe as a brisket roast. Um, but I chose a chuck roast because it's just above a brisket, above the brisket on beef. So here's your dry ingredients. Instead of mixing it with a spoon, I used a whisker to actually mix it, because if you use the spoon, it will form lumps because of the brown sugar. It will stick together. But if you use the whisker like this, it will break the lumps and actually mix it really well. This dry rub is actually amazing. I've used this for ribs. I've used this for some other stuff, but here you can use it for brisket. It's amazing. If you have a smoker, this will be your dry rub. Put it in a smoker for 12 hours. But I'm actually going to use the slow cooker today. So you wash your meat with cold water and you pat it dry. Make sure you pat it dry. If you had a brisket, you're going to be trimming the fat on both sides, especially one part will be like no fat, and the other side you have to leave a few fat, a thin layer of fat, just to make sure that it keeps the moisture in your meat. Now you have to rub your meat with the liquid smoke mixed with water. This will actually add flavor to your meat when it's done, and you can actually smell the smoky scent, and it will taste a little bit smoky also, that like it actually came from a smoker. It's amazing. When you cook, you have to do things like, take your time. Put some love in your food when you're cooking, because it will actually taste better when you do. It's amazing. And after you brush your liquid smoke on your meat, you rub your dry rub. I know when you do this and you invite friends over, they will really appreciate your cooking and they will ask you for your recipe. You will impress your guests with this, or your family even. On a weekend, that'll be amazing. Yeah, rub it, rub it, rub it. When you use salt, you have to be careful also. If you want to marinate this overnight in the fridge, make sure you actually use lesser salt. I'm using 1 tablespoon of salt, kosher salt, because I'm actually just marinating this for about 2 hours. But if you did it overnight, you have to be careful with the salt, because it will be too salty if you use too much. But if you're not going to marinate for too long, don't be afraid of generally like putting salt generously. It'll be amazing. Because if you don't put enough, then it will not taste as great. Make sure you rub all the sides of your meat with your dry rub. Now, when you prepare your crock pot, your slow cooker, you have to brush the sides of your pot with olive oil. And sometimes you can use like a non-stick spray, but I like using olive oil and brush it around, as you can see. And then what that is actually a large sweet onion, white onion. I actually cut it in half and put it there. It actually gives some aroma while your meat is cooking, and it actually also the purpose of that is also to keep your meat elevated, not touching the bottom of your pot, because of all the juices. It will just go to the bottom, because if you don't have that, your meat will be soaked on all the juices, and it's not going to be that great. I want my roast brisket or chuck roast to be like a little bit dry, so when you actually shred the meat, it will like you see the threads. It's amazing. You place your meat on top. You cover it, of course. Even without the heat yet, even if it's not cooking it, you can already smell the spices. You can already smell the spices, and you know it's gonna be good. If you make this, you'll be like famous. You'll be loved, I would say. This is best for your family and close friends. You have a night together, like at home, watching movies. Have dinner with friends at home or family. It'll be great. Just set your crock pot to 8 hours. It will cook on low for 8 hours. Don't be scared, and you leave it alone for 8 hours. Don't keep opening it up, because it actually keeps that heat and moisture inside while it's cooking for 8 hours. You have to keep it in. Don't be too excited to lift the cover and look at it. Nope, just leave it alone. Watch movies on TV, watch whatever you want, play around. You can even leave, because it's going to be cooking for 8 hours. There you go. As you can see, it is done after 8 hours, and these are all the juices that came out of the meat. It's still boiling. That's after 8 hours. Looks amazing, and it smells amazing, and your house is going to smell so good. So you take it out of the crock pot, put it on a plate, and you're going to prepare your barbecue sauce. What I used today is smoked mesquite. And then I also took a little bit of the juices from the crock pot and mixed it with the smoked mesquite barbecue sauce. I don't like my roast with like fresh barbecue sauce. I want my barbecue sauce cooked with the meat at the end. So I'm gonna mix those juices over there with my barbecue sauce, so to add more flavor to your meat, because you're not done yet. There's still 2 more steps to go, or 3 steps. Well, you can eat it like that because it's already cooked for 8 hours, but I like to do this step to add more flavor to your meat. You can use chuck roast, and you can use brisket or any kind of meat that you like. So you brush that on your meat, that sauce that you mixed, or you can use whatever kind of barbecue sauce you would prefer. So here, as you can see, I already brushed the sauce on my meat. Both sides, all the sides, and I put my meat on a rack, on a pan that has a rack on top, and I'm gonna bake it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. There you go, it's baking for 10 minutes. There, after 10 minutes, you broil it so it'll caramelize the barbecue sauce on top. It'll burn it a little bit. Actually, when you take it out, it looks like it's from a grill or from a smoker. It is amazing. This is the perfect time already. You broil it for about 5 minutes, but you have to watch just to make sure it's not gonna burn. Ah, the smell is so good. Here it is. Comes out. Looks like it came from a grill. But it's not ready yet. You have to put it on a foil and wrap it to keep that moisture in locked in. You have to let it rest for about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, some 30 minutes. Depends. Just wrap it there and leave it alone. Time it 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Because all the juices will lock in. It will not dry out. It'll be moist. It'll be amazing. Oh, I'm sure you're tempted. Don't. Just keep it in. Be patient. And you'll see in the end, you'll be grateful that you've waited that long to taste that great roast that you just made for your family, for yourself, or for your friends. Let it rest for 10 minutes covered in foil. There you go. After 10 minutes, look at that. How moist is that? It is amazing. Just lock in the moisture of your meat. It's so moist, it did not dry out. Now let's taste that. I'm sure it's amazing. Actually tasted it already. Already eaten it already. Not all of it. It's so big. I don't think I can finish it. It's 2 pounds. So that's a lot. Let's see. It is time. There you go. Put in that fork and see how good is that. It is so tender. Look at that. It just comes right off. It is amazing. Just shreds right out. You can see the threads of your meat. Ah, it is so good. I just tasted it. It is so good. Trust me. If you make this, you will not be sorry. It will make your day. Amazing. Yum, yum. Look at that. That moisture, moist meat, tasty, tender, yummy, flavorful. If you cook that, you will enjoy for sure. Look. Woo. Your family will love you for it. Your friends will love you for it. Maybe your friends will not leave anymore. Probably they will stay at home with you. So try this recipe. And thanks for watching. Enjoy.